Yo, this is Quentin Moore chilling in the Cigar Lounge.
This is the Captain, Hobo King 82. Hi, guys! Yo, this is MJ from Hot Garbage Cigar Club, and you're watching Cigar Loungin Podcast.
Welcome, everybody, Cigar Loungin Podcast. I am your local hero here, my co-host.
Kenbro, you know what it is.
We got a special guest today. We're going to talk about us cigars coming out of Georgia.
Yeah.
Representing down there, man. Y'all getting it in down there, especially in the ATL area when it comes to cigars.
ATL, shouty.
They are ATL, shorty.
So how you doing today? How you feeling tonight, I should say? How you feeling?
You know, I'm good. I'm actually pretty good. I'm doing pretty good. What about you guys?
I'm good.
I'm good, especially now that I'm off work.
Right.
We're good out here. All right. So before we get into the show, what everybody smoking on?
Well, I am actually smoking JLW cigars, so that's what I'm smoking.
Uh-huh.
Me, I got the TNT by Viaje.
Okay. I got the Del Mundo Oscuro. All right. Let's get into it, baby. Let's go and get it cracking. All right, so let's start with, first of all, the initials for your cigars. What does the initials stand for?
So my initials are pretty much just my family last names. So all of them are 3 different last names. So that's where it all kind of originated from. Johnson Lee Williams. So that's where the JLW comes from.
Okay. That's cool. That's cool. All right. And as for your logo, let's get into your logo a little bit.
So my logo is actually, if you know, you're looking at my, once you look at my cigars, there's a picture on my cigar, which is actually my granddad. So he is actually the face of my cigar, and the face, the name, and all of that stuff is actually kind of connected to my cigar.
That's what's up.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. All right, we like that. Now, as for cigars, what got you into cigars?
I will say that honestly, how I started out, I was looking into getting into knowing more about cigars. I was actually thinking in terms of, hey, I wanted to do like cigar events. So, and I've been out into the cigar world for a couple of years now. And so I was like, well, if I want to sell somebody's cigar, I might as well just sell my own cigar. So I started from there, researching and connecting with a person at that time that had his own cigar. But at that time, I think that he had a lot of other things going on, so we wasn't able to connect. So I connected with some other people that I wasn't able to connect with. But I finally ended up with a great master blender, so that actually ended up creating a great cigar for me.
Okay.
That's what's up.
So, tell us about your cigar. Like, what do you get off the palate when you're smoking one of your cigars?
So what I will say that my cigars are they're definitely more on the mild side. I have a Maduro, and I also have a sweet tip. So if you don't like sweet, you can actually try the Maduro. Most of it is pretty much more or less like your everyday cigar. So with it being like your everyday cigar, it's not necessarily a very strong cigar, which I know that some people like the stronger cigars, but then you also have the people that just want to smoke just a cigar just to relax. So mine is more on the smoother side. You're going to get like a earthy, with the Maduro, of course, you're going to get that earthy flavor. More on the sweet side, kind of more like the more caramel type sweet type cigar.
Okay.
Both of them are meant to be smooth, laid back, and a relaxed cigar.
Okay. That's always what I look for when I smoke a cigar. I like to, be able to just enjoy it and relax and chill out. Get me out of my zone for a few minutes. Just
Right.
relaxing. What would you say is your favorite beverage to pair with your cigar?
Say it again. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Your favorite beverage to pair with your cigar? What do you drink?
I will honestly say that typically what I try to go more on the cognac side. I'm a Grand Marnier type person, so if I am smoking one of my cigars, I will do Grand Marnier. So sometimes, I may do wine, but I will say for the most part, I will do like a Grand Marnier, like a cognac type of feel.
Okay. So, what's your favorite rapper?
My favorite rapper? Oh, rapper.
Yeah, cigar rapper, not hip hop.
Help me out.
Stop.
I thought you guys were rapping too. I ain't gonna lie.
Okay, we ain't talking about the beef right now, okay? So, cigar rapper.
San Andreas is it actually, and that's what my cigar is honestly made with. So that's one of my favorite rappers.
Okay.
Well, hold on, San Andreas rapper. He ain't go platinum though. He ain't got no platinum.
You say what?
Said San Andreas ain't never go platinum. I ain't never heard no album from him, no mixtape, nothing.
But San Andreas was a good GTA game though.
It was a good video game. I do that. You have that.
Right.
Yeah, you said, what's your favorite rapper? I was like, oh, okay, let's go ahead and go down this path. Let's see.
Listen, I was all ready to tell you who my favorite was.
Well, since we here now, who is your favorite rapper?
You know what? I love Moneybagg Yo. I absolutely love Moneybagg Yo too. Huh? So
basically, you saying you got time today, huh?
I got what?
You got time today, huh?
I got time today. Look, and then that Scorpio song, I'm a Scorpio, so he made that song for me. Yeah, and apart from him, Tupac and of course Rick Ross is actually my favorite. But I don't like Rick Ross because of his music. I kind of like Rick Ross for his look. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
What's
Big
up.
dude was in, little homie.
But you ain't bald head, so you don't have to.
I'm not. However,
you're only halfway there.
However, I do have on my Suge Knight flannel and a very impressive beard.
Oh, yeah, bald head and beards. That's where it's at. That is where it's at.
Trying to grow this hair for 2 years on the job time.
Yeah.
So how many lounges are you in so far?
I'm in a few. I'm in a few lounges, but I will say I've kind of more or less have maybe business deals with maybe about 2 of them right now. But I am in a few lounges here in Atlanta, in Macon, also in Alabama. So yeah, so I'm still getting my feet wet. So hopefully, eventually, at some point, they'll be in many states across the world. So that's the goal.
If y'all go to Alabama to get a cigar, make sure you bring your folding chair. You never know when you got to catch a fade out there.
Well, at least you know the rules.
Yeah, you throw your head in the air out there. You don't know. You never know.
Well, at least you know the rules. Hey, you know what to do when you go out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
what's the cigar scene look like down there?
Oh my gosh! Atlanta, we're probably more oversaturated. You have a cigar lounge on every corner here in Atlanta. So, hey, you can't miss. You're going to definitely you can't miss. If you want to go to a cigar lounge, it's pretty much on every corner here in Atlanta.
What's your favorite one you like smoking in?
Right now, I will say that there's one called Harlem out in Lawrenceville, Georgia. I also like the Humidor, which is, out here in Snellville. One of my biggest ones that I actually had the pleasure of going out to this weekend was the Plug at Tavern. I absolutely love that one. Quite a few of them,
Okay.
but just to name a few, those are my go-tos.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, Atlanta, man. Atlanta, they
Yeah,
get
y'all have
cracking
to
on
come. Y'all have to come here and visit. So
Around
you
that
can
Gulf
just
Coast.
go out and come, out. Look, we can all hang out. We can go to the cigar lounges and, have a great time. They have some great cigar lounges out here.
I heard.
Yeah.
I
I'm
heard that y'all
definitely
got
interested.
some real dressy joints down there too. Where you got, what I'm saying, put on the slacks and the button up and everything. Like
Well, honestly, if you think about cigar lounges, that's pretty much just it's more grown and sexy.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty much the feel that you're gonna get when you go to a cigar lounge. It is, I wouldn't say that all of them are like button up and slacks and things like that. But, for the most part, it is like a grown and sexy vibe. So, that's, most of the time it wouldn't be a sneakers and
see.
cap type, baseball cap type
kick
a
that
feel.
thing,
But hey,
you know?
some places are different. This is just what you're getting in Atlanta.
Yeah. So like Jay-Z said, it's change clothes and let's go.
There you go. See, look, you know the rules. Y'all know the rules.
My J's is gonna be on somebody's couch.
Huh?
My J's gonna be on somebody's couch. Filling somebody's liquor somewhere.
Right. Look. Hey. We all know what the rules are.
All right. So, like, do you find it, and you being a female of color, do you find it harder getting into the industry, or was it just an easy transition? Because
honestly, I have the love and support that I get out here. I will say, like I said, it's been not. I wouldn't say that it has been hard. I've been out here in the cigar world for quite some time now, so I've built some relationships with some people. So I would say that it's easy because I don't want to say that things are easy, but it hasn't been that big of a challenge for me. But as far as like people supporting, a Black female person that actually, I'm not sure as of right now, as far as I know, I'm the only female that's in Atlanta with her own cigar. So if there are others, I don't know about them, and there could be others, but as far as like having the family connected to the cigar, I may be that only person. So it hasn't been as hard, but I can't say that it's been easy. But I'm learning a lot of things in the process. A lot of love and a lot of support and a lot of advice along the way, which has been great.
Okay.
That's what's up.
Oh,
That's a good thing to hear.
Right.
I was wondering that because because I remember when I first got into like the cigar scene, when I walked in, they looked at me crazy, but then when a female walked in, they was really like, what? So I remember that.
Right.
Some of it used to be the good old boy club. We had to kick the door in though.
Hey, look, it's room for all of us here.
Exactly.
No matter the race, gender, is room for all of us.
Now, what would you say is the hardest part about having your own cigar?
Definitely consistency. That would be the most challenging part. Honestly, staying focused. Because at the end of the day, you get, sometimes you question yourself, is this what I really need to be doing? The constant grind. You definitely got to be out here grinding. I wouldn't say that that's easy because, for right now, especially if you're somebody like me that's still working a full-time job, you still got to, once you leave work, your meetings are at night. So you're meeting up with people in lounges at night. So, and then you got to get up and be at work the next day. So I would say that part is about, staying focused, being consistent. That's the most challenging part.
Okay. Now, what helps you stay focused?
Honestly, God for number one, because a lot of the times when I could just say, I may have that feeling, but God may put something in my path to make me feel like, hey, you're on the right path. And also, I have support from my family, my friends, and even strangers. So that kind of helps me to stay focused and let me know that, hey, I'm on the right path and that this is something that I'm supposed to be doing.
Okay.
So, how many blends did you go through before you selected your first line?
This is actually my second blend.
Okay.
My very first blend, it was a cigar that was a little bit smaller. So when I got with the master blender that I'm with now, he actually sat down with me and we talked about what he felt like probably the best thing, which is bigger, better. So, which actually worked out because at the end of the day, my cigar is more. It was much smaller. Most of the time, when you see a person that's smoking a cigar, they are bigger. So this is actually my second go round,
Okay.
and I'm coming out with a third eventually. I'm working on the third. So yeah, I'm working on something that's a little bit stronger, and maybe bigger than what I have right now.
Okay. Now, what gives you the inspiration to come up with the third one? You just like, okay, these going good, or you just
well, honestly, I take all feedback. A lot of people try the cigars, and even if they didn't, they give me a lot of advice, a lot of feedback. Some people like the bigger cigars, stronger. So of course, I want to cater to everything that people are interested in. I don't want to just be just one. I don't want to just have one particular cigar. If I want to go bigger with my cigars, I'm taking all feedback, positive, negative feedback. I'm taking it all. So then that way I know what it is that I need to maybe work on next. So yeah, so that's really kind of what that's how I kind of came up with that, as far as I can know that I need to do the bigger cigars, stronger cigars. Most people are not really, some people are into the mild cigars, but half and half is mild. The other half is strong. So I want to be able to cater to everybody.
That's the best way to think about it. You want to try to reach as many people as you can. You don't want to pigeonhole yourself to a certain
Right,
subsector of customers.
right, right.
I think so. How did you get used to taking the criticism, or was you always just a person who would take constructive criticism?
And honestly, yeah, I've always been that type of person. Because at the end of the day, everybody's not gonna like what it is that you do. So I can't just go into it thinking that, I've heard that even in this cigar business, I've heard the negative stuff, but at the end of the day, I can't sit and just focus on the negative. I can take it, depending on what type of negative feedback it is. I can take that and make my cigars better, or I can just dismiss the other negative stuff, because at the end of the day, I can't let that stop me, because there are other people that are out here that are giving me positive feedback. So even with my everyday life, at the end of the day, we're all human. Everybody's not going to like who you are as a person. So I can't just sit there and stop being who I am because of this person may not like me or may not like what I'm doing. I know at the end of the day, I'm a very humble person. I try to respect all people, but at the end of the day, not everybody likes that. So I just got to keep moving.
How many times have you had an experience with somebody which is instead of they went past constructive criticism and they just like, just straight out being negative about it?
Um, how many times?
Well, yeah, how many times and how did you, and if it happened, how did you work through it, to keep
So
going?
honestly, something like that just happened to me last week. And at the at the end of the day, it was hurtful, but at the end of the day, I'm still not gonna be mean to these people. But at the end
Hmm.
of the day, I know how you are. I know how to treat you going forward. I'm still gonna be cordial towards you, but I just know that you're not somebody that I can probably rock with on that level. Um, that's just who you are. You have to deal with that kind of stuff in the end.
Hmm.
So I can't just if I honestly had to be upset and be mad about what people would say, I honestly be mad at a lot of people, and I'll be a very unhappy person walking around in this world because of what people have said about me or don't like about me. So, not that I take it as I don't. At the end of the day, I don't make that a part of my life.
Okay. Do
Yeah.
do you find any kind of, I guess, value, or it doesn't hold any kind of weight when people do react to what your cigar like that? Do you take anything from it, or do you just like, like push it to the side and just focus on like the positives and the people that
No,
actually give you criticism to where you can improve at?
no, and that's what I said. I take all. I take it negative. I take the negative feedback. You know, say for instance, somebody may say, "Hey, I'm not going to support your cigars." That kind of stuff. I'm not gonna. They never said why, but I can't do anything with that information. But if
Mhm.
somebody says that they didn't, you know, honestly, to be honest, truthfully honest, I have not had anybody that has tried my cigar that didn't like it. But they may have said they have preferred it to be maybe stronger or something like that. I take all of that feedback, and that's how I improve on what
Mhm.
I actually have. So honestly, where I am today is because there may have been some things that I may not have had in the beginning. Somebody may have said, I was like, you know what, you're right. Let me work on that. So I worked on that and I have it. So if you came to me and you said this to me in the beginning, I didn't have it then, but I have it now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shout out to that positivity because I'm not a positive person. All y'all, with all due disrespect. Now, with that being said,
Huh?
Okay.
I'm not. I appreciate your positivity, and I hope to one day achieve that level of enlightenment. But I am petty, like Petty LaBelle, like Petty Murphy, like Tyler Petty.
That's okay though. But that's it. But you know what? That's what works for you. That may not work for me, but if that works for you, then hey. Sometimes I wish that I could be that petty. Some people need that pettiness because of how they are.
That's what I'm here for. I'm here to bring the petty.
He's your petty conscious. So,
Right.
every time,
So I'm
every
gonna
time
call
somebody
you
gets
like,
upset,
listen, this is what I need. Tell me how I need to proceed with this.
He deserves it.
Not to say that I don't know how to be petty. I do. I'm not even going to try to sit here and say that I'm a saint. But yeah, I could be petty if I wanted to, but it doesn't benefit me in the long run.
He deserves it. Let it go. Let him have
Right.
it. Y'all crazy. So, how do you? So, let's say you walking into a lounge you've never been in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is it hard for you to strike up the conversation about the cigars, or is it just easy? Just go straight into sales mode.
Yep. It's real easy. I've always been. So the thing is that this isn't my first rodeo when it comes to business. I also had a networking business. So as far as me being able to network and communicate, um, I can do that. Because at the end of the day, if I want somebody to know about my cigar, I can't be shy about it. So yeah, I'll talk to you. I'll talk to you about it. And if you're interested, if you're not, it's okay. But no, that hasn't been hard for me to do.
Okay. Because I always, for some people,
it is. It definitely is. It is.
Some people just ain't used to talking in public, so
they
were trying to be they was trying to be cigar reps, and they just wasn't good at public speaking. And it's like, how are you gonna do this, bro?
Well, yeah. I mean, listen, I probably, if you had asked me that question years ago, I don't know how I probably would have answered that. But over the years, yeah, I've learned. So yeah.
Okay. It's always good.
Yeah.
So you have any big events coming that you plan on hitting?
Honestly, not anything just like super big right now. I'm just like I said, I'm still like a small fish in this pond, this big pond of cigars. So, whatever, a lot of the opportunities are being brought my way. I'm contacting people to set up events. I just had an event on yesterday that actually went pretty well. So right now I'm just doing meetings, podcasts, interviews, going out to different places, doing events and things like that. So as far as like anything big, I think that as far as like larger scales, I'll be, not that I'm not ready, but I feel like next year, like as far as like the PCA event that just happened this past weekend, I wasn't necessarily a part of that. I could have been, but I want to be able to get more experience and get more acclimated into this whole field of cigars before I went out to something big like that. Mm-hmm. So not as of right now, I'm just kind of just going with the flow.
That makes sense.
Right.
So, so what is something that you, like, I guess the advice you would give somebody that first started, something that you wish you knew like when you first started?
Oh, I'm so sorry about that truck. That truck was loud. Oh gosh, you don't never know how much things. And when you're on the inside of your house, you don't hear all this stuff. But
exactly.
So honestly, I would always say, and I've always said that if you have a thought, put it in motion. You never know what you're good at until you try. So you wanted to know what it's like to go to the moon, just do it. You don't know what it's like. You don't know if you'll like it. And you don't always have to be like in a box. Just because everybody else is doing it, that doesn't mean that you have to do it. You can always just be different from everybody else. It's okay to be different. You don't always have to be like everybody else.
Facts.
That's good advice. That's good advice right there.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
So I'm gonna ask you this question. You probably already know what's coming up. If you could smoke a cigar with anybody, past or present, who would it be with and why?
It would be Rick Ross.
How I knew that was coming. Oh.
Yeah. Sorry. My family and my friends know my passion about Rick Ross.
Oh.
That's been for years. Yeah, so honestly, that would be it, and not to even he definitely would take any kind of advice or knowledge he threw my way, but to sit down with somebody, that would be it.
Hey, y'all know who, that's her person. For y'all see her, put some Rick Ross on and chug the deuce, let her know.
I see you on that episode.
Yeah. So you know my passion about Rick Ross, yes.
So if you were stranded somewhere and you had to take 3 cigars, which well, if you had to pick 3 cigars that you had to smoke for the rest of your life, what would 3 cigars? What would be the 3 cigars?
Um, the first one would be a JLW cigar Maduro. The second one would be the JLW cigar Sweet Tip. If I have to be honest.
Yeah, it is what it is.
I do like the and it's the Fat Bottom Betty. I do like those cigars as well.
Okay. My brother really liked those. Like that's one of his go-to.
I liked it those until I started smoking heavy, like stronger cigars.
Right.
Now it just doesn't taste the same to me.
See, that's what and you're absolutely right. That's what happens when you smoke stronger. You're used to that type of cigar.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But you like what you like.
Yeah. I'm not gonna, shit on nobody for smoking it because I don't smoke it no more. I mean, because I came from humble beginnings. That's where I started at.
Right.
I had an affinity for that. What was that? The Javas. For a little bit, I did some of the acids and stuff, but yeah, that's where I started at. Now I'm not there no more. So I'm not gonna shit. Only time I'm gonna shit on somebody when they light up a fucking Tatiana. Now we got a fucking problem now.
What? You don't
now
like those?
I hate the way it smell. It smell like you can go and buy that cigar at Bath and Body Works. It tastes like fucking potpourri and vacuum cleaner.
I'm not gonna deny anything with you because I started out smoking the Tatiana Blueberry. I did not like it, and that's when I said that if I had to do, and that was the whole purpose of me when I did my blend. I said I do not want a sweet cigar. I don't like the whole flavor type cigar. I don't like that either.
Mm-mm.
It's overkill. Like it's overly sweet. That's the problem.
Yeah, there's just too much going on.
Look, I gotta go get a diabetes test after smoking this motherfucker.
It tastes like diabetes. It tastes like the
But there's no denying that I can agree with you. But hey, it works for some people.
Hey, if you enjoy it, enjoy it.
Hey, you enjoy it all the way over there.
Yeah.
All the way. Go further, a little bit further. Take 3 more yards, okay?
Right.
Hey, if you want the sugars, then you go ahead and do it. But I'm just not for me.
Right. Listen. So if we ever were to get together, I know not to introduce y'all to Tatiana.
No, absolutely.
That shit
But if I want to make y'all mad, I know where to get y'all.
Absolutely. I'm like,
be sitting in the lounge, you be like, who the fuck just lit up a Tatiana?
That happened to me at the lounge.
You can decipher that from anything. It could be like 20 people smoking cigars, and the one thing you would smell is that Tatiana. Like, who that? Which one of you motherfuckers lit it up? You?
Oh, goodness.
You smell that through a full body, easy. It just has a distinct smell of disappointment.
Oh, goodness.
That's what it's like. All right. So let the people know, how they can get in contact with you and where they can get your cigars at.
Right now, I will say that right now my cigars are they can get them at the Plug at Tavern. That is in Atlanta. It is off of Camp Creek Parkway in Atlanta, Georgia. Currently, they are not for sale on my website as of yet. Eventually, it will be. That's coming soon. You can also reach out to Classic Smokes in Birmingham, Alabama. Actually, it's on the outside of Birmingham, Alabama. They can follow me on my social media pages. I do have a Facebook page, which is JLW Cigars. My Instagram page, which is JLW Cigars. You can reach out to me on my website, which is www.jlwcigars.com.
Okay. All right. And you said you got a couple smaller things planned. What's your next step?
Right now, I'm still doing interviews on some radio shows. podcasts. I'm still doing those. I'm actually still doing meetings. So there are a few things that I don't have like necessarily planned, but they're in the works. So a couple of events that have been mentioned. So I don't necessarily know exactly the dates and things like that. So they've been mentioned. So as of right now, I'm just out here just promoting. That's pretty much what I'm doing at this point. Just going to meetings at some of the local lounges, just going to the meetings, going out to different states, cities, promoting my cigars.
That brings me a question. Outside of Atlanta, what would you say is your favorite smoke city, your favorite city to go? And you know they got good lounges and shit.
I will say that I have been out to Charlotte, North Carolina. Honestly, I cannot remember the names and I feel bad that I don't remember, but I have been out to Charlotte, North Carolina. I do like the lounges out there. I do like the lounges out in Birmingham, Alabama. And I can't say I've been to a lot of different places. Most of them have been in the Atlanta area. But if I've traveled, I went to North Carolina or either Alabama. So as of right now, those are the ones outside of my state that I've traveled to.
Okay. All right, you ain't got anything else?
No, that's it for me.
All right, y'all. We're going to wrap it up.
Okay.
As always, your local hero reminding you to blow your smoke like a goddamn gentleman and gentlewoman. We out.
Right.
What's up, everybody? It's your local hero. Thank you for watching the video. I want you to like, share, subscribe. Catch us on YouTube, right here on YouTube. Make sure you catch us on YouTube. I want you to catch us on Facebook, Cigar Loungin Podcast, Rumble, Cigar Loungin Podcast, Spotify, Cigar Loungin Podcast, Anchor FM, Cigar Loungin Podcast, TikTok, Cigar Loungin Podcast. I want you to catch us on IG. You can catch us under the Gentleman or Cigar Loungin Podcast. Either one of those works. So go ahead. Thank you guys for liking the video. I hope you like the video. And follow us on all our social media sites. We everywhere you get your shit from.